Hey, how's it going? I am late on doing my 5 p.m. office hours, but I am painting. There's some stuff. Anyway, so this week I asked the question on my stories, is it worth it to do a newsletter or not? And I have been wondering this for years. I used to do a newsletter once a month, maybe about 10 years ago. I was pretty good and kept it up for a while, and I would share things like what my playlist was then. I would shout out clients that I had done work for that were doing something interesting or new. And I'm trying to think of what other sort of things I would share. But then I sort of dropped off and I stopped doing it for a while and debated for a long time whether or not it was worth bringing it back. And I started doing it a little bit more sporadically. And one time I put together one that was for showing just a bunch of different office murals that I had done. And it was just a random collection, things that were probably not highlighted in my portfolio since they were just smaller one-off jobs, and sent that out and just said, here's a collection of small office murals that I've done. And I think I got 3 jobs out of that. So while the question was definitely only 35% of people responded and said totally worth it, 65% of you said nope, not worth it at all. I'm going with the 35% for me personally. I find that when I do newsletters now, and I do them much less frequently than once a month, I probably do them on average once a quarter. I find that when I do it now, it reminds people that I exist. I think that's like the number one thing. As a freelance creative, a lot of my work comes from people that I've worked with previously. Maybe they're working with a different company now, maybe they're onto a different project. But certainly in terms of like reminding clients, just like a little like, hey, I'm over here doing this, has been, I think, pretty helpful in terms of bringing me back to front of mind in case people aren't following my work necessarily on social media, or maybe the algorithm has forgotten about me in terms of their feed. The newsletter is a nice way of giving a little nudge that's still not, it's not a big cost to you. So I loved one of my friends replied to the question of is it worth it to do a newsletter or not with no, and he qualified it and said he only answered no because he himself didn't want to have to do one, which I get. I think that when I didn't do one, I also would have agreed that no, it's not worth it. So maybe if you're super busy, you're slammed, you've already got more than enough of the kind of work that you want, it's not worth it. But certainly when things are slow, one of the first things that I would suggest doing is a newsletter or some sort of outreach to previous clients. So then someone else made a really good point about like the kind of content that you put in has to be relevant to the type of people that you're reaching out to. So I use MailChimp and my lists are segmented. So I have a clients list, and then I have a website sign up list. And then I think I have people that have purchased things from me on Etsy or something in the past. So if I were smarter and had more time on my hands, I would probably do more targeted emails. But as it is, I just do one and try and sort of lump in a little bit of something for everyone. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on newsletters. You guys say 65% of you say, nope, not worth it. 35% of you say yes, totally worth it, and I'm chiming in for the 35% there. Those of you who do newsletters, I'm curious what you guys use. I use MailChimp just because I started it many years ago and it's what's around. It was around then and still works well for me, but I'm curious if you guys have any other solutions that you prefer. So that's it from me for today about newsletters. If you are enjoying these office hours and you have any questions yourself, ideas, topics you want us to touch on, I would love the suggestions. Just send me a DM. Sorry, I'm pacing around this space here, but I'm going to get back to painting now. Okay, bye.